A few months ago, for those who have been following, we did a deep dive on Saved by the Bell. I remember that we were talking about how Peacock had the new Saved by the Bell. Another thing that happened during this week was there was rumors of the Paramount Plus, and they were saying that Frasier was going to come back, and I was like, "You got to be kidding me, man!" It was like they give me treats every once in a while, the pop culture gods, because I started watching Cheers again,
Right.
and Frasier drops in beginning of season 3 or something like that.
Season
And
3.
yeah, beginning, right? He's like
Yeah.
the new boyfriend she's like the
Diane's
psychiatrist.
fiance.
He's there sporadically during that season, and then he comes back in season 4 sporadically, and then from 5 to 11, yeah, 82 to 93, he worked a guest spot into eventually his name being on the intro of the Cheers, famous Cheers intro of the show, then getting the spinoff uh, the following fall after the show went off the air, the Cheers went off the air. And, I know, guys, I'm going to send a link. Check out we did a thing where we did fictional characters that would be Trump supporters. Remember that in
Yeah.
the summer? So we were doing like fantasy kind of, hey, what would happen? And a couple of years ago, I think I might have been doing like Me Too for some reason, not to make light of it, but I was like Frasier like gets fired for something because he was very like out there, and he had to go to podcasts. His catchphrase was I'm listening. So I
Mm-hmm.
was like, I'm zooming. So now he's zooming now. That's gonna be a billboard somewhere. But back then I was saying that he had to go to a podcast and he didn't know like, oh, he was like, trying to like, because like the talk radio thing went off, kind of went off the rails. I'm sure it's still popular. The AM, like ABC, the political stuff. But everyone's going to like, podcasts and everything. So I'm assuming that, that's what the premise will be, that he's like now on like a podcast. And I used to be anti reboots. Like I used to be like, oh come on, just like do something new. But I'm like, hey, just do it. It's gonna be good. Why not? What do you think about the Frasier speculation of the reboot that's been talked about for a couple years, but now it seems more like it's official. It's going to happen.
As long as you got like more, if the looks on it.
Oh yeah, baby new
Yeah.
birth.
Yeah. Little. I remember like my favorite episode of Cheers, because I used to, when I was a kid, like my dad used to watch Cheers reruns after like late at night, and the intro like turned me off from it because like when I was a kid I had a thing with like old pictures, like black and white pictures used to like scare me for some reason.
Oh, that's interesting. Yeah.
So the old timey pictures used to kind of think like I'd never, like when I used to go to Hard Rock, because they used to have like a Hard Rock in a Virgin in St. Thomas that we used to frequent a lot, and they'd have all the pictures of all the old musicians and stuff, and I would have to eat with like my face down because I had this thing about old timey pictures. I couldn't, like, they used to like terrify me. I think it's because like they used to show us like the old, like when you're learning about the Ku Klux Klan and all that stuff, and the civil rights and shit like that. So I kind of
Mm.
like, my little like 5 6 year old brain used to like associate like black and white pictures with like white terrorism. Um, but
Wow. Okay.
so I never used to watch it, and then I grew up, and then I started. Me, my mom, and my sister, we used to watch Frasier when it was on. And then we used to watch the reruns and stuff like that. And then Netflix used to have Frasier, and they had Cheers, and I think they still have Cheers, but they might not have Frasier anymore. Um, and I found out like Frasier used to be on Cheers, and it was a spinoff, and that wasn't originally the idea. It was supposed to be a whole different show, but then they decided, oh well, we have Kelsey Grammer. Why don't we just make it that he moved to Seattle and then bring in that Cheers audience, because Cheers was like the one of the highest rated shows of the time when it ended. But Kelsey Grammer, fellow Saint Thomian, fellow Virgin
Yeah,
Islander, he was born in Saint
that's true.
Thomas as I was.
I forgot he was a sailor. Yeah, yeah, yeah. He liked the. He was always into the. Yeah. Okay.
Yeah, so but obviously different political beliefs because he's like a staunch Republican in real life. So the stuff we were talking about with the fictional Trump supporters, Kelsey Grammer is a real Trump supporter. But you know what? That doesn't distract me from enjoying the show. But my favorite episode was the episode when like Lilith, she came on in one episode as like they went on a date and it didn't work out, and then a couple episodes later she comes back and she's kind of like a shrew, like kind of stuck up and stuff like that. But Frasier, he's like stuck up himself, but he's stuck up in like a funny way.
They go on like the talk show, right? And they debate. Is that what you're talking
Yeah,
about when they debate on the show, right?
yeah,
And
but
she
I
takes
think
her
it
hair
was
down, and he's
what was
like, "My God."
Rhea Perlman's character or Diane or somebody gives her like a makeover,
Mm.
makes her let her hair down, and then they kind of like make her look like sexy or whatever, and then they go on this like fucking really like serious, boring ass like PBS type show for like smart people, and then them two is like locking eyes, and then they like
Can I quote? I'm gonna kiss you. I'm gonna kiss you hard. I'm gonna kiss you good. Like, because
yeah
like when the hair comes down, like he like turns into like that was his coming out part. That was his like, okay, this guy is gonna be around for a while. This character,
yeah
but yeah, it was like McLaughlin group type thing. It was like a round table.
yeah. So that one was
Great.
that was my favorite one. Like I think that's the one I like the episode of thing because Frasier is like my favorite character on there, and then I actually got introduced to Cheers or started watching Cheers because of Frasier, and I actually like now that I started watching Cheers, I like Cheers a lot more than I like um not a lot more, but I like it more than I like Frasier. And then I watched all the Frasier episodes when Sam came, Diane came, Woody came, and then the one when they met at the airport and you got to see Norm and
Yeah.
Cliff and Rhea Perlman. What the hell can I not remember Rhea Perlman?
Carla.
Carla, there you go. So
Uh,
yeah, that's my spiel on Frasier.
yeah, but Frasier had the more old school, not old school, but just like the epitome of like sitcom where it's like, okay, let's go to a cabin. Okay, we're all going to try to get laid, but like we're like mixing, like going to different rooms. Like
Yeah,
Cheers had that a few times, but like Frasier always had it where it's like misunderstandings, like Three's Company style, where it's like you wake up and like he's in like a bed with like someone you're not supposed to be with.
yeah, yeah.
I watched it a few times. The first couple seasons of Frasier is great. Like no, they're all great though. I used to get turned off when what's her name? I should know her name, but she marries like the lawyer, and then like
Kirstie,
then
no, not
yeah,
Kirstie Alley.
no, I'm talking about Frasier when she marries a lawyer, and then
Daphne.
Daphne marries a lawyer, and then like
Yeah,
no, then they get married again. And then they finally get back together or together because like, the whole thing was kind of like Sam and Diane. Then it was Rachel and Ross, and then it was Niles and Daphne. Like, what
will
if?
they? Will they?
Will
Won't
they?
they?
Yeah. And then when it's over, it's over. It's like, all right, what are you gonna do next?
Yeah, yeah,
But
yeah.
but Frasier,
Same thing with like The Office with Jim and Pam. It's like
oh yeah.
it kind of got like once they're together, like it kind of sucks. But
What I can say about Frasier if they bring it back in the like an actual serious storyline is why not John Mahoney, the father in Frasier, which was
yeah,
like the premise of the pilot and the whole series. Frasier could be that role, and then you can bring like a character who's
Oh, Ben.
supposed to be Ben. He would be 35-ish, or like, he'd be like
That
mid
dude's
30s.
that dude's a grown. The guy that played
It doesn't
Ben.
have to be him though,
No, but
you know.
he acts. He was on Mad Men.
Oh yeah, he was. Oh yeah, he was good. He was like
He-
the new creative guy.
So
Yeah,
I don't know. I mean, I don't know if they would like have
yeah.
him, but or make the show around him. Like if he has that kind of
Hmm.
star power that he could carry the show and be. Well, who knows? But yeah, I know Daphne was on that show with Valerie Bertinelli
Yeah.
and
TV Land show.
yeah, she was on our show with what's her name, man? The
Betty White was on it
Betty
too.
White, yeah.
Yeah.
And then Perry Gilpin, I'd seen her. She played the mother of Abby Jacobson's character on Broad City. So she still looks like she hasn't aged a bit.
Mhm.
Um, what's Niles' name?
In real life?
Yeah,
Oh,
David
Hyde Pierce.
David Hyde Pierce.
And he's funny. He's a funny guy, man. You
He's
ever watched the Wet Hot American Summer movies?
yeah,
The
yeah,
shows?
yeah,
Oh
yeah, yeah.
man,
I was saying,
Jesus! They did a thing with him where he it was like a meta, because I have to say meta every couple episodes, where they were making fun of reboots, and he does like a Skype, because it's supposed to be like, I guess, 2000, because it's like the next season or something like that.
mhm.
And he's like, "Hey guys, hey, this is," and he says his character's name. And in the background, you see a Emmy, and it says David I. Pierce. Like, it's supposed to, like, it's like obviously him. He's like, "Hey everyone," and then at the end he goes like this. He takes his like fake mustache, his like character like mustache off, and he walks away. It's
Yeah,
like, that was fun.
yeah.
Yeah,
So he's still around. And of course Kelsey Grammer. But the only person, of course, you named him John Mahoney. He's
yeah,
not.
recently too.
Yeah, he passed. And it's crazy because I remember he was in one of my favorite movies. Say Anything.
Oh
And it
yeah,
was
of course.
crazy. It
Yeah,
was crazy watching it. And in Frasier, he's fully gray haired, and then like in Say Anything, like he still has he like brown hair. So I didn't recognize him. But it's like the difference between the two characters is so crazy. But yeah,
he was a very dramatic. He had a lot of dramatic roles.
yeah,
Um, But we'll see. I mean, hey, I'm all for it now. Let's keep going.
yeah.
Um, they can bring back a lot of things now. But we're saying that, like, the Peacock, the Peacock is had that had are trying to pull in new subscribers. Paramount Plus will try to pull in people with like an established brand, much like Marvel is like in blockbuster movies. They depend on like franchises now. You'll always have maybe a couple of like hits, like dark horses, dark horses like hits. But now they're bringing in WWE.